So far this season in the Miami Euro Series 2022 campaign, we have had 11 finals. There have been 11 different race winners. It's now time for the Senior X30 drivers to come up with something a little bit different as they now battle for supremacy. Let's see how it all plays out. The drivers, with their mechanics, come out onto the circuit as the RGMMC crew, Darren Clark, Jamie R. Scott and Ross Upton are all down there on the grid to ensure that everything is tickety-boo for the Senior X30 drivers as they make their way to the starting grid. And what an epic challenge it is going to be. There are some drivers out there who are all smiles. Others are very much focused on the objective ahead. 36 of the best X30 karters in the world are here on the starting grid. And it's going to be incredibly tough to see who comes forward to challenge for the victory in this epic, epic final. But that is quite a statistic, isn't it? 11 different finals this year and 11 different winners. This man on pole position could be about to change that irreparably. Ellie Goldstein is back on the front row of the grid once again. The Belgian talent for the Eichmann's Grand Prix team has now suddenly emerged as a potential championship favourite. What can he do from the front row of the starting grid and in pole position? It's a very tough mission for him, and he knows and expects that this is going to be as hard as it's ever been. He'll be there from the front row of the starting grid, but it's time to deliver. Alongside him on the grid for the VDK Racing team, Sam Balota has been absolutely extraordinary throughout, and now he has a chance to put on a real sensational showcase from P2 of the grid. And on the outside of the second row as well, that's definitely going to be a tough challenge. He's never going to work quite as hard as he will have to from the front row of the starting grid on the outside row. Third position on the grid, a great challenge for Art de Poulain. The Victory Lane karting squad has seen him charge his way through the field. He leads the championship coming into this weekend. Will he lead going out of it? It's always a very tough mission in Senior X30. There are so many contenders trying to fight for the front end of the field. So now there's going to be some more exceptional battles. And the contenders are now geared up for another spectacular show. Fourth position on the starting grid. Right alongside is going to be another superstar contender for the Euro karting squad. On the outside of the second row, Yanni Steven Haydens is going to be there for the Euro karting squad. Took a win in the wet on Friday, and all the way through the Saturday qualifying heats, he's been immaculately strong. Will he end up on the podium in this epic final? It's going to be a tough challenge for him, but there's definitely great opportunities to come in this final. A lot of drivers wanting the top spot, but those four have put themselves into the best positions to challenge for it. Eduardo Vila for the TB Kart squad, the man who was dominant here in 2020 and who was leading all the way until a mechanical failure in the final heat yesterday. He's still in fifth position. He could charge forward for the victory here from row 3. And he's definitely a man who knows this circuit like the back of his hand. It's going to be a very tough mission for him from fifth on the grid. But he's on the inside line. That will certainly help his charge. Next up on the grid, for the Mick Barrett Racing team, it is Bart Harrison, who has won countless awards and accolades over the years in the Miami Euro Series. But in Senior X30, it's tougher than ever before. He's been a winner in junior. Can he triumph in senior? He's going to have to work tooth and nail to charge his way through to the front end of the field. But there's plenty of drivers who are going to charge their way forward to try and step up the game plan and go for the ultimate prize on the top step of the podium. Next up, it is the very talented Spanish star Ruben Moya, who leads the charge for the Pantano Racing team. They've had an amazing weekend in terms of speed. Now it's time for the guts, determination and guile of Ruben Moya to surge to the podium. Can he do it from the fourth row of the grid though? On the inside, P7 is a good chance. It's a good position, but now it comes down to the raw talent of Ruben Moya. Alongside him on the grid, he's got the very superstar Irishman, Finn McLaughlin, next up in position for the Fusion Motorsport team. What an epic performance it's been from him so far. He really is taking on all comers in Senior X30. Now he expects to deliver a podium. So he's there in 8th position on the starting grid. And there are 2 big names to round up the top 10. Really is the showcase of the best X30 drivers in the world, this Senior X30 final. And 10 of them are in the top 10. Ariel Elkin of Israel for the TB Kart squad. Very fast from qualifying, very consistent through the heats. But now it's time to to get those fantastic opportunities in front of him. He's got 8 very tough and very competitive nuts to crack in front of him. So he is going to go for it with full guns blazing. Alongside the Israeli, in 10th position on the grid, Evan Gilter, the winner in Zuera and the championship contender. Gigi's going to have to work very hard from P10. Marienburg is ancient history now. It's time for Evan Gilter to go for glory. And from P10, it's definitely possible. He knows how to get the overtaking moves done. Don't forget that yesterday he won 3 of the qualifying heats at a canter. So he's definitely got a great chance. 11th on the grid for Federico Rossi. Do not underestimate him. He knows this place like his back garden, and he dominated after a fabulous drive in Superheat 1 this morning. He expects more of the same in this final, and who knows what he could deliver. 11th on the starting grid for the PRK driver. There's opportunity knocking once again for him, and the Italian will really want to charge his way forward as soon as humanly possible. The 3-minute board goes up. Time to get ourselves ready once again as Darren Clark tours the pit lane, tours the pit straight, I should say, to make sure that everybody is adhering to the regulations. There's Kimi Diron, the Victory Lane karting driver, 12th position on the starting grid. It's going to be an interesting challenge for him. The Frenchman obviously wanting to finish off strong here and on a high note. And Kimi Diron definitely has an opportunity to crack the top 5. Might even go as far as the podium, the way he and the team have been working here at Castelletto. 13th on the starting grid, the MDC driver, Paul Cayos of Spain. The Birilat youngster definitely going very well. And this is obviously going to be a very tough and competitive field to work his way through. A lot of overtaking moves to come if Paul Cayos wants to stand on the top step of the podium. He knows that, as does everybody else in the team. So he's obviously going to have to work increasingly hard to make the progress. But there's not going to be a tough battle. There's going to be a tough battle coming through from the German Heralind Neradini. He goes off 14th position on the grid. A very smooth and consistent battle from the team. It's great to see them back at the sharp end. And for Heralind Neradini, cometh the hour, cometh the man. 14th on the starting grid for him. And he's definitely going to be in good company at the sharp end of the field. Another Italian superstar, Giovanni Trentin, the protege of young stars of Italy, on the Pantano chassis for the Pantano racing team. This is a great chance for him to surge forward and come up with the goods. But it is going to be a real struggle from that far down in the grid, 15th position, but it's not impossible. On the other side of the grid for the Team Driver Racing Kart squad, on the Kart Republic chassis, it is Andrea Piravano, who lines up in 17th position on, in 16th position, I should say, on the starting grid in the Cosmic. I do apologise. So he is there in the Cosmic chassis, and he's going to charge his way forward from P16 of the grid. The 1-minute board goes up. The grid is cleared, and it's time now to face the music. Ellie Goldstein, pole position, alongside his countryman, Sam Balota, an all-Belgian front row. But for Ellie Goldstein, this is not just another pole position. This is a chance to get into the lead of the Senior X30 title fight. He knows what's at stake. The championship leader is directly behind him on the grid, Arthur Poulain in P3. And let's not forget that there are some serious contenders trying to charge their way forward. Stephen Haydens, Eduardo Villa, Bart Harrison, Evan Gilter starting P10, Ariel Elkin starting P9. We'll have to watch out for Moya and McLaughlin as well. A lot of variables coming into the X30 senior final at Settelagi. Anything could happen, and it probably will. 22 laps of the course, And now it's time to see who gets the championship lead. Ellie Goldstein and Sam Balota on the front row from Arthur Poulain and Yannis Steven-Haydens. Eduardo Villa and Bart Harrison from Ruben Moyer and Finn McLaughlin. Ariel Elkin and Evan Gilter from Federico Rossi and Kimi Derone. Pod Kaios and Erilyn Neradini from Giovanni Trentin and Andrea Pedavano. Sebastiano Pavan and Danny Catanini. Oliver Greenall and Adi Rattel. Maxi Steimer and Julian Carmen from Dan Steeman and Daniel Mathia. From Brado Pozzi, Stilianos Patrices, Sita van Meert and Ethan Barramond, Joey van Spunteren, Rivaldo van der Westerleken, Eliska Babichkova, Bart Pluch, Peter Stella, Marcus Lizio, Eloy Gonzalez and Kalai Atkins. So 34 men and 2 women go out onto the circuit to triumph for battle. It is really going to be an exciting and exceptional showcase as the drivers now have all 22 laps to put on a show. And in the championship fight, Ellie Goldstein and Arthur Poulain both have 72 points coming into this final. 12 clear of Evan Gilter and 31 clear of Ariel Elkin and Ruben Moyer. There's a lot that can happen in this final, and it really is going to be an exceptional charge through the field. So let's see who is going to get the top spot. Ellie Goldstein from Belgium, pole position for the Eichmanns Grand Prix driver, tied in the championship fight with Sam Balota of the VDK Racing team. Tied on points in the championship though with Arthur Poulain of the Victory Lane karting squad. But Goldstein has a real chance here from pole position. This is not going to be the same kind of race as Marienborg. That day, he had nothing left to lose. He had to throw caution to the winds and charge forward. This time, he has everything to lose from pole position, and Arthur Poulain in 3rd place can counteract and take on the battle if he falters. So Goldstein, Balota, Poulain, Steven-Haydens, Eduardo Villa, Bart Harrison, Moyer, McLaughlin, Elkin, Gilter, Rossi, Derone. They're going to come out of the final turn now, and as they come out of the tram lines, we are going to set to go racing. We wait for the lights to go out. Let's race at Settelagi! Up to the first corner, and it's a great start from Balota as they come through turn 1. A very strong start from Ellie Goldstein. He holds the line. Sam Balota in 2nd, round the outside. That is a strong start from Steven-Haydens. He gets through into 3rd place. A good run from Poulain. Oh, McLaughlin banks wheels with Villa. They just about get through, but off the road. We've got someone charging through in the chicane and rejoining in the middle of the pack. It's getting very congested down at the back straight. But up the inside, moves are coming as Evan Gilter takes on Bart Harrison. Now we've got Goldstein in front of Balota, Steven-Haydens and Arthur Poulain. Great charges through as they work their way through on the far part of the course. In through the left hairpin. We've got a big off on the exit of the right hairpin, but it looks to me as though everybody is still continuing, and as they come through at the end of the first lap, it's Goldstein ahead of Balota, Steven-Haydens and Poulain, then Villa, then Gilter, Harrison in front of Kimi Derone. McLaughlin is in front of Elkin, and here comes the move up to Poulain into 3rd position, gets through on Yannis Steven-Haydens. Great overtake. So up to 3rd position, a strong move and a great run. And the drivers continue to quest for position as they run down the back straight into the right-hander. Goldstein still holds firm at the front of the field with Balota and Poulain very much giving chase. The midfield and the back of the field still very close together. But it's an absolutely sensational run as Goldstein runs from Balota, Poulain, Steven-Haydens. There goes Eduardo Villa. Eduardo Villa gets up into 4th position now. That's a great overtake at a critical moment in the race. So Eduardo Villa now really starting to make a charge forward. Can the Italian put the home flag on the top spot of the podium? And off the road goes Sita van Meert. Sita van Meert having an issue there, coming together with Sebastiano Pavan. Such a disappointment for those two. Both Pavan and Van Meert have been amazing all weekend, but unfortunately the battle just gets too hot for those two, and they end up down at the tail of the field. So now there's a lot more work to do as into the pits to retire comes Sebastiano Pavan. Sita van Meert continues. Evan Gilter, 5th position now. Oh, as Goldstein runs a little bit wide, and this could be the chance for Balota. So Poulain now in 3rd, Villa in 4th, and the 4 drivers are going to come together down the main straight. Balota trying to hold back the charging Poulain. Poulain and Vila both get past Balota. Watch out for Gilter. Gilter trying to get through, but he can't make it. So now Poulain is second, Vila is third, Balota and Gilter fourth and fifth. On the back straight, on lap 4, Goldstein, Poulain, Vila, Balota, Gilter and Bart Harrison. Here comes Gilter, makes the move on his teammate, and Harrison gets there as well. So that's Gilter P4, Harrison P5. Good work from those two. And still the battles continue to clock on. Goldstein is really struggling through that left-hand hairpin. The back end seems to want to kick out. And as a result, Goldstein loses a tiny bit of momentum. Poulain in second place, Vila in third. Goldstein under massive pressure here in the lead of the race as he tries to work his way forward. And in comes Poulain. Poulain takes the lead. Poulain gets through, and so does Eduardo Vila. So Poulain leads the race, and Vila is into second, and that is going to give Poulain the lead of the championship. But Goldstein is trying his best to work further forward. This is so tight. Goldstein led Poulain on the end of the last lap, but now Poulain looks like he's going to take the win and the lead of the championship fight. A really exciting challenge forward as the contenders continue to make great progress. Gilter is there in P4. Here we go again. Goldstein versus Gilter in the fight for P3. But Poulain is your leader. Vila in second. Third and fourth are Goldstein and Gilter, with Balota in P5. And now it looks as though Poulain is going to take the lead of the Drivers' Championship. If he stays in the lead of this race, he will become the new favourite to win the title. But there's still a lot of homework to do here. Eduardo Vila wants to get up there and go for the victory himself. He's got a great chance, but he's obviously got to be very committed and work increasingly hard to get himself up at the sharp end. Lap 6 out of 22. This race is going to have so many chapters in it by the look of it. Here comes Gilter, dives in on Goldstein. Goldstein has a chance to get back on him, but instead he hangs back behind Evan Gilter, who runs in third place. So now Poulain in front of Vila, Gilter, Goldstein, Balota, Giovanni Trentin. What a comeback from him in sixth position now. So Giovanni Trentin really working his magic. The Pantino Racing team on a comeback charge in P6 as Trentin sets the fastest lap of 49.8. So Poulain and Vila, here comes Vila! Vila takes the lead of the race. Brilliant run from Eduardo Vila. He gets through now. An exceptional run from Eduardo Vila. Arthur Poulain in second. Third for Evan Gilter, Goldstein in P4. And then Sam Balota, Giovanni Trentin, Bart Harrison and Ariel Elkin. Stephen Aidens is in ninth. Kyle in 10th. Here comes Gilter on the inside of Arthur Poulain. Poulain comes straight back at him. Don't even think about it. You're not getting through. So with Vila now in the lead, Poulain is down to 92 points in the championship fight. And there's a slide down the main straight. Looked as though there might have been an issue into turn 1. But Vila leads the way here from Poulain. Gilter goes for second. And there goes Goldstein. Gilter and Goldstein both get past after Poulain. And now Sam Balota is going to try and get the same move done. Here comes Goldstein on Gilter. And they bang with us again. Goldstein gets through. Gilter down to P5. Goldstein rolls up his sleeves. I am having this place. So Goldstein now second position. Here comes Trentin. Trentin now gets past Gilter. And here comes Poulain. He gets back past Goldstein. And Eduardo Vila is being allowed to run away in front. So it looks like there will be 12 different winners from the first 12 finals of Miami Euro Series 2022. Eduardo Vila is out in front, and now Arthur Poulain and Ellie Goldstein are struggling to keep up with him. Ellie Goldstein working hard to try and convince the battle to continue as Elkin manages to get through Gilter now.
and Podkayos picks up a warning flag, whilst Giovanni Trentin tries to go to battle with Bart Harrison and Evan Gilter. Gilter hangs on in front, but Vila is 1.5 clear. Ellie Goldstein is absolutely fuming with Arthur Poulain. Stop defending, let's go catch Eduardo Vila. We've still got 13 laps to go, and you're defending. We can catch Eduardo Vila. But Arthur Poulain is not so sure. So Ellie Goldstein is now 2.2 seconds back from Eduardo Vila, and he's trying to get past Arthur Poulain, who is now defending by the look of it for the next 13 laps. Goldstein is shaking his fist at Arthur Poulain. Come on, stop it, let's race. He is so frustrated. He now gets up alongside Arthur Poulain, but Poulain still holds second. Here comes Belota. Eduardo Vila is long gone up front. Again, Goldstein challenges. Enough! He gets through into second place. Work with me, Arthur. But Ellie Goldstein is now into second place. Sam Belota into fourth position. Oh, Ellie Goldstein is tapping his helmet to Arthur Poulain. You're not thinking about the long game here. Eduardo Vila's out in front, and he's disappearing. There goes Elkin. Ariel Elkin gets through into fourth position, and he's now having to defend to cover from Belota. Trentin and Podkayos side by side with him and Gilter. Podkayos slides through, gets on the inside of Trentin, and Harrison gets past Gilter and Trentin in one fell move. Julian Carmen is trying to close up on them now as well, as Ellie Goldstein now has to try and shake off the challenge from Arthur Poulain. The gap is 3.6 seconds. Marcus Lucio has picked up a warning flag, as that is one of the, I think that is Yannis Steven Hayden's walking away. Very disappointing indeed for the Belgian, as his race is over. So Nuruddini is out, Pavan is out, and now Yannis Steven Hayden's is out. But out in front, Eduardo Vila has 3.6 seconds on Ellie Goldstein and Arthur Poulain. Goldstein will be absolutely fuming at Arthur Poulain for holding him up for as long as he did, because now it's almost certain that with 11 laps to go, Eduardo Vila is going to take the victory here, as Arthur Poulain, defending for so long, has given Eduardo Vila a perfect victory out in front. So now Goldstein can no longer think about the victory unless he can really gain 3.6 seconds in such 10 laps to follow. Elkin is P4, Belota is P5, Ruben Moya sets the fastest lap for Pantano, running in a 49.72, down in 15th place, but Ariel Elkin is in fourth place ahead of Sam Belota and Podkayos. So they continue to challenge for position. So tight up at the top between Goldstein and Poulain in terms of the points now. 92 for Goldstein and 88 for Poulain if it stays like this. Gilter will be third in the points. Elkin will be fourth in the points. So those four are now looking like the most likely drivers to gain a World Finals ticket. But Eduardo Vila with this victory is likely to move up to fifth in the team, in the driver's standings. So Vila is not out of the woods yet either. So with a 49.55, Evan Gilter gets the new fastest lap, tucked up behind Bart Harrison. Excellent work so far from Ariel Elkin, trying to close up on Arthur Poulain. And he wants to be on the podium once again for Israel. If he can make the TV kart have a fairy tale podium of two of their drivers on the rostrum, that would really give Ariel Elkin plenty to be happy about. But the Israeli has got to try and close up on Arthur Poulain as Eduardo Vila goes through again in the lead. And the Italian looks like he's going to come through in majestic fashion to get the victory. So the contenders continue on their way. 8 laps of the course. And Eduardo Vila is looking so confident out in front here under the watchful gaze of Antonino Laverso, the mayor of Castelletto, who has come to watch an Italian get on the top step of the podium in front of the world's best X30 racers. And it looks as though he's going to be very happy indeed. Here comes Gilter, dives in on Harrison, and he gets the overtake once again. So that's Gilter into P7.
Eduardo Vila
Passes the bits again.
still way out in front. Goldstein, Poulain, Elkin, Pelota and Paul Kayos
Ahead of Gilter and Harrison. 9th is Trentin. 10th is Stylianos Patrices from Finn McLaughlin and Julian Carmen. Arthur Poulain seems to be struggling to keep up with Ellie Goldstein at the moment. Ariel Elkin looks like he could be going for an attack, but he's got Sam Pelota to go with him. 7 laps remain. And all that defensive work from Arthur Poulain really has shut down the victory for Ellie Goldstein.
3.4 seconds is an absolute lifetime to try and gain back. It's a little bit short-sighted perhaps from Arthur Poulain as far as Ellie Goldstein is concerned anyway. But Poulain is thinking about the championship, so he wanted to keep Goldstein back as long as possible. So Eduardo Vila, 3.3 seconds clear with 6 laps to go. And surely the Italian national anthem
is going to ring out on the Senior X30 podium. Ariel Elkin still working hard to get onto the podium so that the TB Kart squad can have 2 representatives on the rostrum today.
And I can tell you that it's been an absolutely incredible comeback from Sita van Meert, who was almost half a lap down and has now managed to get onto the tail of the rest of the contenders. Absolutely extraordinary recovery from Sita van Meert, proving that her speed has been extraordinary all the way through the weekend, as Danny Carinini has now joined the retirements list.
So Danny Carinini is no longer in the battle. So Vila, Goldstein, Poulain, Elkin, Pelota and Kayos. Here goes Gilter. Gilter gets into P6. So he moves up in front of Paul Kayos. So now Evan Gilter trying to close up on his teammate and improve his points tally in the title fight. He doesn't want to let Goldstein or Poulain get too far in front of him. But a second place in the final is definitely going to give Ellie Goldstein a great chance of winning the title on home turf in Genk in 4 weeks' time.
So that's what he's got to be focusing on. An amazing opportunity coming the way of the Eichmann's Grand Prix driver in second place. 3rd is Arthur Poulain, who will now drop 4 points behind Ellie Goldstein in the championship fight, with dropped scores, of course, going to come into account when we get to the last round at Genk.
But Eduardo Vila wants to get himself into the top 4 of the championship, and a win will definitely take him a little bit closer to doing that. But he'll still be 9 points behind his teammate Ariel Elkin, depending on where Ariel Elkin finishes, of course. Here goes Gilter, makes the move on his teammate Sam Pelota, and that puts him up into the top 5. So Gilter trying to steal back a few more points to strengthen his position in 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, heading to Belgium. But Vila is 3.2 now ahead of Ellie Goldstein. Goldstein trying his best to close up, but with 3 laps to go, a 3-second deficit. Surely it's impossible to catch up to Eduardo Vila now. Vila did have a mechanical problem in one of yesterday's heats, which kept him from the pole position today. But Vila has dug deep and found the speed back once again to work his way up from 5th on the grid, and he now leads. It's going to be just like 2020 for Eduardo Vila, who has been absolutely exceptional here. There goes Gilter on the inside of Elkin. Gilter steals back 4th position from Ariel Elkin. Elkin wants to work with Gilter to move forward, but I don't think Gilter is going to play ball. So Gilter is now going to move up a couple more points in the championship fight by moving up into position. He's now on 73, 19 behind Ellie Goldstein. If it ends like this, as Ethan Faramond picks up a warning flag. Great work so far, but there's still a bit of a way to go here. Eduardo Vila trying to hold on right to the end, but the pressure is still sky high. He still knows that it's going to be very tough from here on in. So Eduardo Vila looking to hold on to this 3-second advantage to Ellie Goldstein and Arthur Poulain. But that looks like that's the podium we're going to get. Goldstein will take the lead of the championship fight by just 4 points. But Eduardo Villa goes into the final lap, the Ultimo Giro. Ultimo Giro for Eduardo Villa out in front. And the Italian for TB Car is going to come through. He is doing such a good job, just as he did 2 years ago here. He won in fantastic fashion. He looks back. He doesn't need to. He's on his own. Evan Shields bangs in the fastest lap, trying to close up on Arthur Poulain on the final lap. He might just spring a surprise here, Evan Shields. But this man, it's no surprise to see him out in front. Eduardo Villa from 5th on the grid, dominant in an exceptional display. Out of the way gets Dan Steenman. It's a bit of disappointment for him. But here comes the man, Vincitore. Eduardo Villa wins once again in Sette Laghi. Vincitore Italia for Eduardo Villa. He gets the win for the TB Kart squad ahead of Eli Goldstein and Arthur Poulain. And so there will be an Italian stallion on the top of the podium. What a performance again from Eduardo Villa. An Italian triumphs on home soil. If you give him half an inch, he's going to take 17 miles. Eduardo Villa disappears out in front of the rest of the field, 3 seconds ahead of the rest. And everybody here is going to be absolutely overjoyed for an Italian winner here in Italy, Eduardo Villa, Vincitore. Excellent work from Eduardo Villa, a great result and a fantastic display from the TB Kart squad, 1st and 5th in the Euro Series. After what has been a phenomenal battle, and again we have yet another new face in 2022 on the top step of the podium. In 3rd position, representing France, Arthur Poulain. An excellent job for the Victory Lane squad, with Arthur Poulain now seriously in the hunt for the championship. In 2nd position, representing Belgium, Eli Goldstein. A great work from the Eichmanns team and for Eli, who is now back on the rostrum once again after a sensational fight in the final. But on the top step, representing Italy, Eduardo Villa. For the TB Kart squad, Eduardo Villa returns to the top of the Castelletto podium. And we welcome the winning team manager for TB Kart. Please welcome Simone Berena. And so onto the top step of the podium goes Eduardo Villa for the 2nd time in 3 years. And in deference to our winning driver, the national anthem for Italy. Congratulations to our drivers on the Senior X30 podium. For the last time, we will ask our distinguished guest, Signor Antonino Loverso, the Mayor of Castelletto, to present our trophies. In third position for France and the Victory Lane karting squad, Arthur Poulain. And to our driver in second position for Belgium and Eichmann's Grand Prix, Ellie Goldstein. And to our winning driver on the top step of the podium for the TB Kart squad and Italy, Eduardo Villa. And finally to our winning team manager for the TB Kart squad, Simone Barenna. And we will ask our drivers to gather together on the top step of the podium. Oh, well, we'll gather them together with the trophies held aloft on their podium spots for the first one. Great performance from our drivers here in Senior X30. 12 different winners from the first 12 finals of the Miami Euro Paddock podium season. What an amazing result, an amazing statistic that is. And now we will get the drivers together on the top step of the podium. So they will squeeze in together for the podium shot. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Our three drivers, Arthur Poulain, Ellie Goldstein, and Eduardo Villa. We will ask for one final photograph of everybody together with our distinguished guest, the Mayor of Castelletto. He would like to come through and have a picture with our winning drivers again. The team manager as well. Everybody gather in together. A fabulous final shot and a great way to bow out here at Settelagi. Excellent performance from our drivers and a great end. Your Senior X30 Castelletto podium. And now our three drivers will get the moment to savor on the podium in the sunshine here at Seven Lakes. What a fabulous end to a brilliant weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, our Senior X30 drivers can now get busy with the fizzy. It's pretty much the only thing Eduardo Villa has been slow at all weekend, spraying the bubbly. Fantastic stuff. Great work from our drivers. I'm going to grab one final word with Eduardo Villa. Well, that was pretty sensational. Excellent way to end the weekend in Senior X30. And we do so with Eduardo Villa. Eduardo, 2 years ago, you came here and you took the victory. This time you did it again, but it looked much harder this time than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been really tough this weekend. Because I won 3 hits. I did second in the other, and in the last hit last evening, I had a mechanical problem, so I had to start from P6 in the super hit. I was able to win also the super hit, and then I started P5 in the final. I had a decent start, and from P5 I overtook everyone, and I was a bit lucky that they fought a bit behind me, and I win with a big gap, and I'm really happy. I want to thank all my team TB Kart for the support, and all my family.
Fantastic. So obviously 4 weeks from now, you and the team will go to Genk. There's a good chance that at least one of you could end up with an IWF ticket. So how are you guys focused on Genk?
Yeah, we are really confident. Now I'm P5 in the championship, and my teammate is P4. So yeah, we are confident for Genk, and we will see how it goes.
Fantastic. Great job. Eduardo Villa.